as you guys know, breaking news that got released the night before, and it basically highlighted that not only was the Vegas trip probably being spent unauthorized on taxpayers' dime. We also know that she's trying to raise taxes in Thornton Township, and that the whole county and the cities got deficits, and the people is actually good people over there in Dolton and in Thornton Township, and somehow, some way, she became the supervisor. And let this be a lesson that you guys have to get involved. I say every single day. Every day that is more important for you to become an informed voter. And then on top of that, you have to realize that what happens in your city and your local elections is way more impactful to your everyday life than what is happening on a national scale. We'll go and we'll all go and vote and turn out in record numbers for the national election, but we won't actually vote for what's happening in our own townships and our own cities. We just completely remove that. We don't pay attention to the millages. We don't pay attention to who's the supervisors, the trustees, the city council members, nothing. We just be like, don't worry about it. But we know that the trustee is being accused, not that he's convicted, not that he's guilty, but he's being accused of busting down a chick unauthorized against her will. We don't know what the results are going to be of that. They was out in Vegas. They said, well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And right after that, something bad happened, but they tried to cover it up and nobody said nothing. They never was forthcoming. And they also fired the young lady according to her allegations, right? So this woman continues to stay in the news. She also dropped a preview for her YouTube blog, whatever. I don't know what she got going on. This lady's crazy, all right? I've never seen a woman this crazy before in my entire life that torpedoed the whole city and then torpedoed her own self because she's going down, down, down. Red team going down. But they talked to a lot of the trustees, the ones that didn't go on a trip. They talked to the trustees. And the trustees had this to say when hearing about the news. They found out about it in the same way that we found out about it.
You read the document.
Yes.
And those that is an official complaint from the Illinois Department of Human Rights. They have launched an investigation into the mayor of Dolton, Thornton Township, and this unnamed trustee. You read the document. You started crying. Why?
That could have been any one of us. That could have been either trustee. That could be anybody. That's somebody's daughter.
Facts.
And you have violated this young lady. That's like a punch in the gut. To do something as you have done or allegedly have done and to not speak about it, to cover it up. How could you live with yourself? How? I couldn't live with myself even knowing that something like that happened and I didn't say anything about it. Here's a person...
Let me ask you this. Could this young lady said she went to the mayor to try and, explain what happened? The mayor said, I'll take care of this. Don't worry. And then she gets put on FMLA and loses her job. Could something have been done differently by the mayor who she looked up to, this young lady?
Absolutely. She herself should have launched an investigation. An investigation. This happened on your watch.
Facts.
You should have taken action immediately. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have a daughter. Do you not feel anything? Absolutely. To do that, you have a daughter. You have an obligation to this village. You are the leader. You are the leader. To let something like that go by and not get involved. You are just as much
responsible.
Oh my God.
What do you think about the allegations you just read in those complaints with the Illinois Department of Human Rights?
I'm appalled. I'm literally sitting here shaking because I cannot believe that something like this has taken place. it's disheartening right now, and it's disheartening on so many levels. Regardless of what we're going through in politics, this is somebody's livelihood. This is someone that, oh my God, I'm just appalled. This is a woman. This is a woman that I don't know, what has happened, but just even these allegations, and for someone to have the leader that's in our community that always speaks on black women to cover up something like this is outrageous. I'm furious. I can't believe this. I'm furious. This makes no sense. I'm hurt and I'm furious.
And I think one of the things that's really unfortunate about this is not just that things are being alleged, but also as a leader, you absolutely have to take responsibility and accountability, because you are now responsible for the people that you have with you. So the problem is not just the accusation. What's up, Sia? Got something to say? The problem is also the cover up, because that's not what leaders do, unless they have more of a personal interest to be successful than they have as far as trying to maintain power. Here's the other part of it that we still not leaving out. They out there partying in Vegas on taxpayer dime. They're out there partying in Vegas on taxpayer dime. And then this happened.
That means that these people have known about this for some time.
Yep.
It's almost a year later. And to find out something like this,
Yep.
this makes no sense.
Everybody should be prosecuted to the full extent.
Fullest extent of the
Everyone
law.
involved, even if you knew about it and you covered it up, you as well should take part of this blame here. You should take fault. Something should happen to you as well. If you know something, say something.
That's why y'all got to be careful of the people that y'all keep company with, because a lot of times, they will put you in harm's way. They will put you in a space where you shouldn't even been having this conversation, or you shouldn't even have had to answer that question in the first place. And now you have to answer for something that you might not have even been involved in. And so you got to be careful of the company that you keep. I don't go and hang out with everybody. I don't go out of town with everybody. Yo, I remember when we first started, we had started touring when I was with another channel or whatever, right? And we did a couple of shows. And people couldn't understand why I flew in with my chick. I took care of business, and I was on the first thing smoking. Then I looked on Instagram, and I looked at the stories and all of the videos. And what did I see? Everybody was partying and throwing drinks back, and they was on camera. And I started seeing dudes out there with their shirts off in the middle of, what was we at? Houston? Dallas, Atlanta, something like that. It was something like that. And I was like, I was up there watching it from my hotel room. And I was on a 6:30 a.m. flight. First thing smoking. I was back out of the door. Man, I'm not getting involved with what y'all got going on. I don't want no parts of this. I don't want no parts of it. Look, when you ask Anton, I don't even know what happened. I have no idea. I'm here to fulfill an obligation, and I'm gone. People was hitting me up. Yo, Anton, you going to the after party? Is that sanctioned? Was that part of the promotion? No. Rita, no. Rita will tell you, I was gone. I was on the first thing smoking. I'm too smart. I done seen too much happening in these streets. I done seen it play out left. I done seen it play out right. I done seen it play out all kind of ways. But you know what the way that I didn't see it play out? With me in attendance. I don't even show up. It's like, yeah, we going to this after hours party spot. I was like, oh yeah. It was like, you coming? I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. Word. Then they gonna call me the next day. Man, you ain't even show up. Ah, man, I was tired. I had a long date. I had an early flight. I am Ruben Pfeffer when it comes to after parties. Was I getting paid? Wait a minute. We went to Vegas to go to a conference. I didn't know that we was going out to go have fun and party too. This ain't part of my itinerary. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I gotta do hardly initiated, right? So I'm talking with the boys over there, and they're like, Anton, you gotta come through and do the show, right? I fly in that day, and I fly out next morning. If I could get a flight the same night, if I could have got a red eye, I would be red-eyeing at home. Man, I ain't got time to be sitting here playing no games. I don't want to hang out in Atlanta. It's nothing for me in Atlanta. Then that's how you end up on a vlog. Oh man, we got an undercover. Undercover what? I'm gone. First thing smoking, bro.
This trustee always speaks. If you know something, say something. Well, you've done something and you said nothing.
I think I'm saddened by it, and I think that it's a lot to digest at the moment. Being a woman in this town where, we've been fighting in terms of just
Brittany.
for transparency in general. And the biggest fear is always, how far is this going to go before someone gets hurt? And now I feel like this is what it's coming to.
Meetups is coming soon.
When you say how far is this going to go before someone gets hurt, what does that mean?
In the village, we actually a few weeks ago we set put a resolution in place so that we can ask that the FBI come in and investigate our leadership and our administration, because we know some things aren't right. We just didn't know to what extent. And now this just goes back to the lack of transparency, because there's no way that this should have taken place, and as a board, we not know about it.
A lot of things that happen out here, only a select few know what really goes on out here. So everybody is not privy to that information.
Did you know anything about this incident?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
This was news to you reading that?
News, shaken up, saddened, just appalled.
Did anybody, by show of hands, how many of you knew about these allegations?
No.
Best thing that could ever happen to them ladies is not even being on a trip. Let me say that again. Best thing that could have ever happened. Look, everything that looked fun. Oh, y'all, we about to go to Vegas. First thing I ask, no lie. First thing I say when people say, yo, we about to do this. Like, who all going? Yeah, this Jason, Man. Like, I'll think about it. Oh, Anton, you always say you're going to think about it. You ain't going to come. I said, I'll think about it. Don't worry about it. I thought about it. I ain't going. I ain't going. Man going. Y'all know what Man did the other day? Man, listen. Last night, I wish I could show y'all the picture. Last night, before I jumped on After Hours, Rita sent me a picture of somebody that we know in the hospital. He took a selfie in the hospital. He was all bloodied up and beat up and scars on his chest and stuff like that. I said, ooh, what happened to him? Rita said, I don't know. This is what he posted on Facebook. I said, ooh, must be crazy. Remember when he invited us to go and hang out? Rita was like, yeah. I said, nah. People be inviting me to parties and junk. What? You don't want me to come to the party. Why not, Anton? Because it's going to cost you. I got to pay you to come to the party. I said, no, it's not just paying me. You got to pay for my security. You got to pay for the people that surround me. You got to pay for my flight. You got to pay for my hotel. My security is very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. Man, you don't need security. We got you. No, you don't. No, you don't. I roll with white men. White men, that's formerly of certain governmental branches. They are very much authorized to take you out. One right next to me, I'm in the black truck. Black truck all day long. You don't want me to come to your party. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you more than what you pay for the party if I come to your party. The way I go is a little different.
They never tell us much anyway, so we're used to it.
There was no scuttlebutt?
Nothing.
What happens next? Will this be brought up, part of the agenda? Are we going to discuss this? What happens next? What's the next move as you all as trustees?
My thing is that everybody involved, if you hold a position, you should resign immediately.
Facts.
There's already enough shame being brought to this village. How much more? How much more? You should resign your seat.
Are you talking about the trustee the
Trustee, unnamed trustee, mayor, even if you're for the township, because we're part of the township, you should resign as well.
Would everybody agree to that?
Absolutely. This is ridiculous. I would say that Tiffany Henyard, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Supervisor Tiffany Henyard should definitely resign immediately. For you to cover up something like this, allegations of someone doing this to someone, is horrible. And you cannot lead the village of Dolton under these circumstances. That's why when we had the special meeting about FBI investigations and outside sources, it had nothing to do with this, because we didn't even know about this. This just adds to the plate. Somebody has to come in and do something. This is terrible for us. And I feel sorry for the young lady. I'm a woman. I have a daughter. And she has a daughter, and she gets on TV and says, the black woman, how could you do this to another black woman? This is terrible.
People wonder why we fight so hard, and it's like we're not fighting to be defiant, but we're fighting for what's right.
Oh, I know.
This is the last straw right here. This is too much. This is too much.
Yes.
This is
something definitely, as you said, has to be done. It has to be done. It has to be done. You are as much of the blame as everyone else is. When you keep something,
come on, cameraman, get it together.
Knowing that this happened on your watch, do you have a heart? You always speaking, God has me. Well, who has us?
She said, you got a different God than me. We all got different gods. Your God not the same as my God. Man, listen. I be hearing people trying to insult me. They be like, Anton, on the weekdays, you always late night live streaming. You always on YouTube. Yeah, I know. We be having a good old time in the safety of our homes. Look, by the time 12 o'clock come, I'm in the crib. By the time 12 o'clock come, the whole reason why we initially started Fight Club, when Fight Club was popping, was to keep people inside of the house. I have never seen anything good that came out or turned out after 12 o'clock. Not once. See, that's the thing. The beautiful thing about it is that when everything start popping off, they're going to be like, Anton, so you bought the bottle of beer at 12. No, I wasn't even at the store. I was on the internet. We was running up a check. We was making money. We was having fun. We was laughing, creating good content, being controversial, arguing with each other, debating over Dame Dash and Drea's baby daddy and all of this other type of stuff. And we was safe. We were safe. We were in the house. We was losing sleep. You know what I'm saying? We woke up a little drowsy. We might have missed church in the morning. But one thing is for sure and two things is for certain. We was alive. We were alive. Okay, so listen, you can say whatever you want to say. Fact of the matter is, I was right here on the internet in my safe space. And while y'all was out here causing chaos and ruckus and flying out and doing whatever it is that you wanted to do, I was having a good time. So it's always safer. It's always safer to be sitting inside. I don't know what else y'all want us to do. Y'all want us to be out here crashing out with y'all? I am just fine. I am doing just okay.